All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Sal Fam Gang, Salazar Family Kitchen, and it is episode number 2. We're doing food for thought with Bino, and this week I have my son Mateo with me.
What up?
His first time on camera. We're gonna put him out on the internet, and today we are going to make the Mateo burger. The boy's so bad, he's got his own burger with his own name. And
Mark 1.
Mark 1. First version. 1.0. Mateo Burger 1.0 Mark 1. And so we're going to get into it today. It is, how would you describe the burger, Tail? Double decker? What is it?
So basically what it is, it's a double-decker cheeseburger with macaroni and cheese bites on the first layer. And on the second layer we have waffle fries along with a single fried egg at the top. Also the buns have to be toasted.
Yeah, you got some cheese on it too? Got some Kraft cheese on it?
I said cheeseburger. Of course.
Yes, you did. Cheeseburger, so it's a cheeseburger with cheese on it.
Got the eggs right
Got
here.
the eggs right here. We're all ready. We did do a little bit of prep before because we didn't want the show to be an hour. Because that's what cooking shows do. But guess what, Tail? We're not a cooking show.
We're not a cooking show.
We're not a cooking show.
Not a cooking
We just happen to be cooking.
While talking about philosophical stuff.
Philosophical,
yeah.
Just having a good time. 2 guys in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Having a good time.
Yeah.
And just enjoying each other's company. And that's what really this is all about. So as we're going to get into this, we already did some prep before with some of the ingredients. I'm going to start the stove. So Teo, we have a topic. While that gets going a little bit, I'm going to season all that. We have a topic that I thought would be really interesting that we can kind of tie into everything today. And I remember us having a conversation talking about origin stories.
Yeah.
And that's something that I never heard growing up. What's an origin story, right? As a kid. And I hear it a lot now, and this is something that you talk about all the time. So if you could, for all those out there in TE land, tell us what an origin story is.
So what an origin story is a point in a person's time where, like, tragic events may have happened, or really just anything happening can be a part of an origin story. So I'll give an example. Spider-Man, his origin story is that, he was taking, he was going to go to the Daily Bugle to take pictures and stuff, got bitten by a radioactive spider, and his uncle died because he was being so arrogant for himself. And the one motto that he had was, with great power comes great responsibility.
Right.
That's his origin story. His parents, first of all, are dead. And so he has to live with his aunt and uncle. And his uncle ends up dying, leaving only his aunt to care for herself. And with that motto in mind, that's kind of his origin story right there. So origin story is just basically, something that may happen in your life that gives you, like, a superhero or a supervillain, to give that meaning,
Yeah, I got you. So here, what's the difference between a hero and a villain then? You said that can happen. Origin story is something that happens in a character's life.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a hero and a villain? What's the point that they change?
Well, technically there are 3 different categories you can go to. Hero, villain, and the very small gray spot in between, an anti-hero.
Okay, before we get into that, Taylor, I'm just gonna keep. So we are cooking at the same time. So I told you we're not a cooking show.
Not a cooking show.
Just happen to be cooking. So when we make our burgers, hold on to that thought. We're gonna talk about how you become a hero, villain, or anti-hero.
Yeah.
On all of our burgers here, the Sal Fam Gang, we use Famous Dave's steak and burger seasoning. This stuff is fire. Get it? It's like $4. We get it from Walmart. We get all of our groceries from Walmart. We do grocery delivery, and I like to put a little bit on the burgers, kind of get it started. Just a little sprinkle on top, not too much. And it's all the seasoning you need. I'll put that on medium while that gets going. And then, all right, so Teo, so let's see here. So we got the cheese.
Yep.
Here, open these. Open all these up so we get them ready.
All right.
So you're prepping, right? So in prep, you've done culinary. What's the French word for prepping your station in your area?
Mise en place.
Mise en place. So we're mise en place, and we got everything prepared and laid out. And you taught me that. I think it's a good terminology. So okay, so we were talking about origin story, and you were saying about the difference between a hero, villain, and anti-hero. There's a moment in time, right? That's very important.
So, for example, a villain origin story could be almost the exact same as a hero origin story. It could start with a death of a loved one, or it could just be literally anything bad that's happened to the person that can provoke them to become a villain.
Okay.
So yeah, that's...
But they don't necessarily. So something I remember seeing a quote online, and we talked about this, and it said, "Everyone is a villain in someone else's story." Right? You might be a nice person, but to someone, to them, for some reason, you're a villain. Maybe you were in softball with them, and you took first, and they took second, but they never recovered. And then years later, they always remember that. I'm like, man, if Mateo didn't beat me at softball, he's my villain.
Yeah, that's kind of like, it's like that, yeah.
Yeah? But you had said there's a moment in time, I think you called it an arc?
Yeah, so...
What's an arc?
So, it's a character arc, so just the character as a whole has something called an arc. So, for example, when they go through being a villain, that entire time that they're a villain, up to the point where they decide that they don't want to be a villain anymore, that's an entire arc right there.
Okay.
So an arc is a period of time that a character is something. So if a hero later becomes a villain, that hero, until he realizes that he is a villain, or maybe when he displays that he is one, that's a whole arc of him being a hero and starting a new arc where he's a villain.
Okay, so I think the reason why this is relevant is you're saying that someone could be a hero or a villain their entire life, and that arc comes to an end at a decision point, and then they can choose at that point to become a hero.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you know, like because you're into comics, but I don't think you're into them like only. You're also into gaming, and you're into all that stuff. And do you know of any villains that made a decision and became a hero that changed? Or the opposite way? Like
I can name one where they started out as a hero and became a villain.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so that happens like Superman.
So
it happened to Superman, didn't it? Like in the movies, I remember.
In the Injustice universe, yes.
Okay.
Also another example, it's kind of modern today, the show Invincible shows, Omni-Man, played by the guy who played J. Jonah Jameson in Spider-Man.
Gotcha.
He started out as a hero of everyone, but then later reveals that he is more of a villain hero, superhero, or whatever.
Gotcha. Okay, so that reminds me then, because I think we think about heroes and villains, that it's all like the 1950s and 60s good guy.
It's not always a good guy.
The good guys were white, the bad guys were black.
Yeah.
Nowadays it's much different. I remember when I was a kid, 1980s or in the 80s wrestling, WWF it was called, and then they had Hulk Hogan who represented saying your prayers, eating your vitamins, believing in yourself, and then you had the Iron Sheik and Sergeant Slaughter, and they represent everything that was bad, but that was in the 80s. And like now you had, so I remember in the 90s you had NWO, which was like the Bad Boys, and you had Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he was kind of like the good guy, but you talked about anti-hero. I think he was an anti-hero.
Yeah.
What's an anti-hero? It's kind of like not good, not bad, right?
So basically what an anti-hero is they aren't quite a hero, yet they aren't quite a villain.
Okay.
But, so I'll give you an example, Venom, or Eddie Brock.
Okay.
He has a lot of hatred in his heart because Spider-Man made him lose his own job.
Okay.
Well, in the other movie, he gets fired and he lives in just a terrible apartment, is really down on his luck and stuff, until a symbiote comes down, possesses him, and they help people, first of all. Like they're basically a good guy, but Venom he kills the villains.
Okay.
So he's not quite a hero.
But
he saves people,
yeah,
but he also kills the person in the process.
Right.
The person who's
so there's things that on the surface you think are bad.
Yeah.
Right. Also, he makes them dependent on him. So like he has to like.
Yeah, he's a symbiote, a parasite.
A parasite. So
both of them benefit in some sort of way. The parasite, Venom, he gets a body that he can like take his full form in.
Right.
Eddie, he has like literally any injury he can just instantly repair.
Right. So they both get some out of it.
Working in symbiosis.
So it's not your typical good guy.
It's not a typical good guy. It's not technically a villain. In the comics, he's displayed as an actual villain.
Yeah.
But in the movies, like Let There Be Carnage in the 2018 film, it's shown that he's more of an anti-hero than a villain, like in the comics.
You know what this reminds me of? I know you haven't watched it, but you heard of the show Dexter?
No.
So Dexter is a serial killer. Dexter's a serial killer that kills people.
Yeah.
But his dad his adopted dad basically gave him a code and taught him how to use his dark passenger that he had the need to have to kill people to use it for good and kill bad people. So he's a serial killer that kills bad people, and so the whole show you watch and you're rooting for him because he's a good guy,
Yeah.
but he kills people.
Yeah.
So he's an anti-hero,
Yeah.
right?
I guess. Yeah.
So I
Like,
remember,
does he just kill innocent people in the beginning?
I think there are times unintentionally innocent people die, but he kills bad people. Like, he kills other killers or other serial killers. Because for him, he's just like, I was born with this, so I'm trying to use it for good. It's a way for me to kind of exist. It's what he calls his code.
Yeah.
His code keeps him, willing to keep trying to fight the good fight instead of being like saying I'm a bad person.
Yeah.
He's using it when he gets the urges, he just kills bad people.
Yeah.
Right? Like Venom.
I mean, also another example is this one anime that was really popular back then called Death Note.
Okay.
There was this character, Light Yagami.
Okay.
He finds this journal where any name that he writes inside of the journal, that person dies by heart attack.
Real quick, one second. So, something that I do is I get this extra virgin olive oil spray. I tried to use the manual spray. I got the container on Amazon. It didn't work real well. So I just used the actual, I guess this is not aerosol, but it's under pressure, the olive oil, and then I spray everything. I even sprayed my fries. We did fries. I sprayed them. And we did the mac and cheese bites ahead of time. I sprayed those too. And it helps anything that you did fried get a little crunchy in there.
Yeah.
So you were saying?
So yeah, any name that he writes inside of that journal or notebook, they die of a heart attack in the next minute.
Okay.
So what he does is that he goes after villains, but he was so obsessed in killing all these villains, trying to make a perfect world without villains and stuff,
Yeah.
that made him go from an anti-hero to a villain.
Right.
There was that point where he thinks that he's doing something good for the world. In reality, he's actually the villain for killing off people. He's also trying to kill off the detectives that are investigating all the murders.
Okay.
Because they have like these villains they have these people that are just dropping dead left and right in prison. So they're trying to figure out who is he.
Right.
And he's trying to outsmart them in some
But
sort of
he
way.
knows. You said he knows that this is happening.
Yeah, he knows that he's killing them off. He thinks that he is the good guy, making him some sort of anti-hero because he's killing off, bad people who have murdered people, have raped people, stuff like that.
Right.
And he just thinks himself he's the hero.
Okay.
But to other people, he's a villain.
So I wonder how many people don't realize that even if they're doing good things, that ultimately, in the world, every time you do something good, down the line, there's something bad that happens to others because of it.
Yeah.
Right? If you get a job, that means someone else didn't get it. If you get a promotion, it means someone else didn't get the promotion.
Yeah.
Like if you get to work on time because you sped through traffic, but you cut 2 people off, those people might have got fired because they were late to work.
Yeah, and because of that one specific person, it's just a butterfly effect all over again.
Okay. So, Theo, who do you identify with? The good guy, the hero, the villain, or the anti-hero?
I'd like to go with an anti-hero sort of thing. I have good intentions for everything, but a lot of stuff that I do that are good sometimes turn out to be really bad.
Give me an example.
All right, for example, let's say, for example, I was at school and my teacher paired me up with these 2 troublemakers in the school. I actually wanted to, teach them a little bit more about, being an actual good student and maybe getting our project done on the first day. And they ended up doing, they started sliding down the rail, causing trouble and stuff. And because I was linked in with them, I didn't do anything whatsoever. Yet I also was the one that got in trouble for it.
Right.
So, I had good intentions, trying to teach them more about the stuff that we were working on,
Right.
but ended up turning out bad.
Okay. So anti-heroes could have good intentions, but in the process, bad things happen.
Yeah, just like the example Venom. Like he wants to help, but Venom is the one who's eating all the people. He doesn't have control over Venom when he's saving people.
Right.
Eddie's the one with good intentions. Venom is just the one that does all the grunt working stuff and takes his little reward as like eating the villain.
Okay. So what about in dealing with bullies? How would you say like an anti-hero could deal with bully situation?
Well, the way that an anti-hero would do is that he would bully the bullies.
Okay.
He's a bully himself, but he has the intention of stopping the bully.
Okay, so you said
So
you
like
identify with an anti-hero.
Yeah.
I'll tell you today, so also earlier today, Mateo and I went over to East Porta down the street, and we did some boxing, and so we did some drills. And Mateo, I saw a look in your eye. Man, you were hitting that bag like you had something that was on your mind.
I mean, when you get bullied for years, that pent-up anger just gets to you. You know?
Yeah.
And when you finally have that moment where you can, just kind of lash out on a single inanimate object, pretending that you could be a real person.
Yeah.
And now I'm sounding like a villain there.
But you're not a villain, no.
I'm not a villain. I'm an anti-hero.
You're an anti-hero, yeah.
Yeah. I have good intentions. I want to help people.
Yeah.
But also, I'm not afraid
if they cross you,
messing people up.
That's right. You got a mean punch.
Yeah.
Taylor, you told me about a study that I thought was really interesting. Can you tell our audience and our friends at home? Well, this is not up on YouTube. This is just for friends and family. But you had a really interesting study that you heard about, and usually I'm the one telling you about that. And I was just super proud dad moment when you were telling me about the monkey study. Can you tell everybody about the monkey study while I grab these burgers out?
All right. So the monkey study starts out with 4 monkeys inside of a cage with a ladder in the middle and a thing of bananas at the top, a whole bushel of them. One monkey decides to go up the ladder and try to grab the bananas. He successfully gets it, but all the other monkeys below, they get sprayed with like cold water. Now, they beat up the monkey for having them getting sprayed with cold water. Now, they take out that specific monkey and they replace him with a new monkey that has no previous knowledge on anything. Now, of course, he goes up, gets the bananas, and he gets beaten. And he gets back down and gets beaten up, and they take around one of the older monkeys and replace it with a new monkey. This thing keeps going until all the original monkeys are completely gone and all left with new monkeys. Now the monkeys don't know why they're beating them up. It's just that when they got there, they got beaten up for trying to go for the bananas.
Okay.
So that's just showing that they have no idea why they're fighting them. But, they just do it anyway because that's how they were treated when, they got it.
So with this study, what it showed is basically why people prejudge and bully others. Yeah. Sometimes they don't even realize they're doing it.
Yeah.
It's just a hierarchy way of, I don't know. Would you say it's like hating on others? Like this is how we're brought up is like, who's the weak person? Who's the person that is trying to get out? Who's the person that's trying to better themselves? And then we just naturally have this way where we pull the monkey down. Yeah. Proverbially, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, also like I was talking to you about before, an example of this kind of experiment would be Crips and Bloods and stuff. They don't know.
Crips and Bloods. What do you know about Crips and Bloods?
I don't know.
Shout out to all my West Coast people. I got the red going on. I guess for all purposes, we're representing Bloods are red and Crips are blue. How do you know about Bloods and Crips? You roll deep in the streets?
No, I just hear. I don't know nothing about.
All right, tell me your philosophy on Bloods and Crips.
So they fight each other, but I honestly don't know why they fight. It's just like the experiment that I was telling you about,
Okay.
Because they probably have no idea why they're fighting. It's just that through generations they start fighting, and then as new members they're always taught to fight Crips or fight Bloods and stuff.
Right, we're saying Bloods and Crips, but it could be anything. It's like sometimes people don't even realize why they're fighting.
Yeah.
That's almost kind of like racism too.
It could be like a whole generational process with like kids and stuff.
Right.
Like maybe a grandpa tells the dad, now you need to go and beat up that family over there.
Or you're
then
supposed
the father
to not like them
explains to their son that I don't know why, but your grandpa told me to go beat up that family, so you go beat up them too.
I got a perfect example. You're grown up as a Cubs fan, thinking to yourself, Sox fans, you naturally don't like them. Now, I'm not saying you want to beat them up, but I've been in some bars where
things get heated.
Things get real sketchy and real problematic just because someone likes a different sports team.
Yeah.
So we do this in every walk of life, right? Mm-hmm. But bringing it back around to like the anti-hero, right? So bullying is something that you've dealt with in your life, and this hasn't been fun. But you identify with the anti-hero because you have good intentions.
Yeah.
But you're not goody two shoes because you make mistakes.
Make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah. So I mean, how do you deal with that? How do you know when the next story arc is going to end and when maybe next, hopefully you don't become a villain, right?
The thing is, anti-heroes, they're like on the fence between hero and villain. One mistake or one little thing could affect the entire thing.
Okay.
Because, for example, let's say that I start off as an anti-hero and I save like a kitten in a tree. That could transfer me over from anti-hero to a hero.
Right.
Although, if I'm an anti-hero and the entire public hates me for the work that I do, kind of like what Superman does, you know? He goes around trashing the city trying to save everyone. He has good intentions of doing it, but he like destroys the entire city, and if everyone hates him, he has every right to be a villain.
Okay.
So like just a single thing could transfer someone from being a hero to or an anti-hero to a hero or a villain.
Got it.
So like one little
Moment
thing
in
to
time.
happen. Yeah, one moment in time, I can flip instantly to a villain.
So you mean to tell me that everybody right now, if you've grown up, you know, here, look, you can, in a moment in time, you can change and be a hero or a villain based in one single decision.
Yes, and I think that most people in this world, they would be considered anti-heroes. Everyone, you know, like I said, have good intentions, although some bad stuff could happen. And it only takes that one small moment that turns them into a hero or a villain, how everything is sorted out in the world.
So you gotta have good values. You have to kind of
Yeah.
be a good person and live it so you are what you repeatedly do every day. That's Aristotle said that.
Yeah.
He says it's excellence is repeatedly being who you are and striving to do good things, or excellence is like striving for success and being your best.
Yeah.
It's repeatedly the acts that you do.
Yeah.
Right? So being a good person repeatedly, because any moment you can make a decision that could make you a villain.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not saying to be hard on yourself, but you know, being a good person is not always easy, especially in today's
seriously.
world.
When you try to be a nice person just in general, a lot of today's society don't recognize that you're trying to just be genuinely nice.
Right. I see that a lot with you,
Like
man.
with me, you know, I always try to be a nice person. Sometimes people take it the wrong way and think I'm mocking them in some sort of way.
Yeah, you get
and
the
then
shirt
they
off
would
your back
go to
and
beat
but
me
then-
up or something.
Yeah, like some kids just your age, they're judgy, and man, it's tough to be a kid.
Yeah.
You know, I remember getting bullied, and you know, you and I, similar in that when we grew up, we just thought a little bit different. We were deep thinkers when maybe not everybody was thinking about that. They were thinking about, I just want to wear Cavariccis, or in my day, that's what they wore, you know, or whatever. And for me, I was always a little bit deeper of a thinker, and so not everybody, I didn't get along with everyone. But now that I got older, I realized when you're young, everyone wants to be like everyone else.
Yeah.
You just want to fit in.
Yeah.
And then when you get older, you realize that everybody wants to be an individual and be different. You just figure that out sooner. And as you get older, everyone's going to gravitate towards the individuals, the people that are unique. Because who wants to hang around someone that's just like everybody else?
Yeah.
Right? It's timing. Some people peak early in high school, so some people peak later. That's okay too, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So guys, I got these cool rings for eggs, like this. They're metal rings. You put them inside the frying pan, and then they make sure that your egg doesn't flip-flop all around. And they come out in these nice, pretty circles. Isn't that just so pretty?
It's just so beautiful.
And they come out in nice circles. I think we got just about everything ready so that we can prepare the plate.
Yeah,
Over
I
here.
think that might be everything besides the mac.
Oh no, you gotta do the buns while I'm talking here.
Oh yeah, I gotta do the buns and stuff.
Yeah. And I actually want to talk a little bit about my origin story, because
Yeah,
I
your
think
origin story could either be a superhero, anti-hero, or it could literally just be a superhero or a villain origin story.
Why do you say that?
Because I know your origin story, and I'm just saying that you have that kind of origin story that would make me think you are either become a hero or a villain.
How would I become a villain with my origin story? Because a lot of people know, you know,
I mean,
I changed who I am, and here I got that going for you.
yeah, I'm talking about, like, you know, your origin story only goes up to the point where you have to, like, decide. You know, you doing your exercise, getting ripped and stuff.
Ripped.
That's your turning point into becoming some sort of hero.
Okay. All right, so let me see if I can put this together as it relates to me. I don't think I was a villain to anyone else. I think I realized that I was being a villain to myself, in that I wasn't making good decisions, and I felt guilty for putting myself first. So I would take it out on myself by eating bad, or not working out, or always doing what was good for everyone else at my own expense. And I paid for it. And then over time, like, if my health was a bank account, I was in the red millions of dollars, because I got almost up to 400 pounds. So, I took it out on myself to the point where I'm like, man, if I don't get my life together, I'm gonna die. And so I had to stop being a villain to myself. And so I had a character arc, like you said.
Yep.
And so the character arc happened, and then I slowly realized the big decision was started having sciatic issues when I turned 40. And I was laying in bed, in pain, thinking, man, I'm in bed and I'm in pain. I don't want to live like this. And so I had that one moment where I said, I'm done. I'm going to do it through nutrition. And I started eating right. 6 months later, joined CrossFit, never looked back. And so, I probably was a villain. If I had to compare it to what you said, Tay, I probably was a villain first, villain to myself, and then became a hero.
I'm going to go turn off the flame real quick.
Yeah. Based on what you said. So.
Now, these aren't perfect.
That's all right. That's right. And you know what? The point of this show.
It's not a cooking show.
It's not a cooking show.
Not a cooking show.
It's not to be perfect. It's about what we're doing. We're father and son. We're hanging out. We're talking. And sharing stories. And
the top one turned out really good, though.
Good. Well, we got a couple more to do. Your mom's going to eat one with us. After the show's over, we're going to finish up the other ones.
Yep.
All right. So those are done. So now we're going to plate a little bit here. So. All right, so we got some. You're gonna butter these up, or you already buttered them? We're good. We're gonna do mayo now, right? So here, give me that knife.
Just gonna watch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Mateo's real. I told you last episode. Mateo's real big on cross contamination. He yells at me all the time. He's like, "You can't take that knife and put it over there because you're gonna cross contaminate." But I was just gonna
try to put raw meat and
it wasn't raw meat.
It was raw meat and cooked meat. Literally in the same cutting board.
That's not true.
You can't have. It's like Gordon Ramsay's #1 rule of cooking. It's not a cooking show.
Not a cooking show. Why you gotta put all my business out in the street, man? I didn't do it like that. Try to put your dad on blast. All right, so everyone, let's see. We got these great value buns from, like I said, Walmart grocery. Swear to God, we're gonna get sponsored by Walmart. I'm telling you. So we got these buns, and then I talked last episode about how we like mayonnaise, and we got 3 different kinds of mayonnaise in the house. Mateo, tell everyone why you picked Miracle Whip.
Because, throughout this entire thing, you're going to need a little bit of sweetness in there, Imagine this burger like life,
Okay, I'm listening.
Okay,
on, my brother.
We start off with, like, the mayo because it's sweet, You got to have that sweetness inside of your life,
Okay.
And the cheese represents that element of surprise in your life.
Oh, okay.
The burger is like the everyday stuff that you have in it.
It's the meat.
It's the meat. It's the meat of your story,
Gotcha.
Yeah, so when you put the meat in there,
yeah.
And then when you add the mac and cheese bites into there, it's just those little moments in life where it makes it that much better.
That's the goodness, the little nuggets of cheese just oozing out in your life.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that what you're saying? All right, so bring those over. All right, so bring some of that mac and cheese bites. We're gonna put a burger on here first.
Yeah, so the burger goes on first.
So I know you can't see everything, but we're gonna take a picture of it.
We're gonna take a nice picture, put it up on the gram maybe.
The gram? I don't know about all that. Right now we're just doing this for our Facebook friends, but if it gets going and we're having fun, then we'll do that.
Next cheese bites go on next.
Okay, your plate now. So it's your burger. Where's the ketchup going?
Ketchup goes on top.
Okay, the next layer. So we're doing. We did the bread.
I'm gonna go with some
toasted bread. Then we got the burger, seasoned burger with the cheese. Then we're coming with the mac and cheese bites. Then he puts another layer of the bread on here.
Put the burger with this on top.
Then we got some of these nice waffle fries as well that we cooked up.
Sponsored by Walmart.
So then we got, what are we doing next? We're doing the waffle fries
Yeah,
next?
we're doing the waffle fries. Put it on.
Okay, so we're doing one
here. Yeah, kind of like crisscross,
Like that?
Yep.
All right, now what about ketchup?
Oh, we gotta put the eggs on.
Oh, the egg, okay.
The fried egg.
The
fried egg, what that represents in life.
You're stupid.
It's just that burst of flavor that happens. It could be like a changing point in your type of life. When you take a bite into the burger and the yolk just bursts, It's just that moment where your life kind of turns around.
That's the decision point.
That's the decision point.
So you're telling me that life is the yolk of the egg that pops in the Mateo burger.
Exactly. That's
it's all coming together now.
Everything we've been talking about relates to this burger and life.
Mateo, in this moment, I just realized everything happens for a reason. I just realized you got a Marvel shirt on. I got a Spider-Man shirt on. We've been talking about superheroes. Earlier today, we're at the gym. We were doing Superman holds, workouts.
Yeah, totally not a coincidence.
Totally not a coincidence and not planned at all. That's crazy, bro.
Gotta.
All right.
Actually, I think I may have did this wrong. The egg goes on, then the fries.
Oh, okay, that's all right. But you know what's live.
Yeah, it's structural.
All right, so we got this
perfect circle egg.
Circle egg.
Then on top, you put the big fry.
All right, you grab the toothpicks here because we're gonna put the toothpicks to hold it. I'll give it a little bit of structure.
Ketchup like that.
And then ketchup. It's like the
ketchup.
Like that.
Ketchup goes on this side of the box.
Yeah, because if you pour it there, you always want to be careful this thing doesn't squirt out. Don't do it, Teo. We have a rule. We're a family that does that's what she said a lot, but we don't take the easy ones. That was too easy.
All right.
All right, so that on there.
That on there. Oh, the yolk is.
It's about to burst.
It's about to burst.
It's literally on the
side.
There it goes.
It just popped.
Yep.
You want to grab your phone and take a picture of this thing real quick?
Yeah, I'll take a picture of it real quick.
He's gonna take a picture of it with the yolk pouring down there. It just looks all nice and gooey.
All right, let me get good lighting in here.
Oh, get a picture of it with me. Got it? Perfect. This is how people look when they put stuff on the gram. All right, so now Teo, live, we're gonna see how well we did. I don't think you need the toothpicks for your mom. You get the double decker.
Yeah.
You gonna try this bad boy? You gonna try for this anti-hero with the Mateo burger? And you said life is like the egg yolk, and the egg yolks just popped.
Yeah.
Now you have to enjoy the fruits of this labor on today's episode. Over the plate.
All right, gotta get a nice grip on this.
So many flavors at once.
Yeah.
It's perfection.
It's perfection.
Perfection.
Awesome. All right. Well, hey, that's it. That's the Mateo burger. Two patties, a double cheeseburger. We got an egg on there. We got the fried
mac and cheese
bites that were Stouffers.
Sponsored by Stouffer.
And then we also had Miracle Whip on there, and then
toasted buns.
And we had the waffle fries in there as well.
Waffle fries. Sponsored by Walmart.
And then we did the famous Dave's seasoning on the burger as well.
Famous Dave's seasoning on the burger.
This wasn't crazy to make. This is easy.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. Make it with your family, you know.
Family, hang out a little bit, tell stories.
You don't even have to make just a Mateo burger in general. You can just make burgers. You know, have some mac and cheese bites, maybe some fries on the side for the kids, you know.
So Teo, though, I just want to say thank you for coming on the show today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Thank you, yes. But honestly, I think that's kind of profound what you talked about. You talked about that any moment in time, people could decide to change the arc of their life. Mm-hmm. They could decide to make a decision and be who they always wanted to be. Doesn't matter if you're 30, 40, 50. Man, you could be 70 years old and decide, you know what, I just want to be different. I want to be who I always wanted, I thought I should be. Or you're going through a tough time and you say, today is the decision point. Mm-hmm. Everything changes for me. And I think that superheroes represent a lot of real life, right? I think superheroes give people hope, right? Because they say, wow, this person is capable of all of that. What's my special superpower? You have a superpower too, right? You're good at connecting things together and comparing life to a friggin' egg yolk. Go ahead and take another bite of that bad boy. See if you can get the mac and cheese bite in there. Maybe that's your superpower, bro. Your superpower is eating the double-decker burger with no problem, with no drip. Second bite just as good as the first? All right, awesome. All right,
better.
Facebook friends, family, and peeps, thanks for joining us today. Another episode of Food for Thought with my son Mateo. We're looking to get the whole fam in here real soon. And so, hey.
Real soon.
Yeah, we'll put a picture up of this and we'll put the ingredients in there, but we're not a cooking show. We're not a cooking show.
Not a cooking show.
We're just some guys getting together, cooking and telling stories, and we appreciate your time today. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next time. Deuces.
See ya.
We'll get a little pose in there, father and son.
Yeah.
Get an album pose, something a little cool. All right, see you guys next time.
All right,
thanks for coming out. Yeah. It's real good. It was good.
That's really good.
Yeah. All right, I gotta make mine.
Take another bite.